Hello, ladies and germs. This is Chip Chippison, and you're watching Bourbon Soaked Live. Yes, you are.
Hey there, y'all. I am Juliette Miranda, and welcome to Bourbon Soaked Live, the best bar that isn't a bar on a Monday night. Cheers, y'all. I hope you're doing good.
Cheers, cheers.
That voice, that ominous, deep-sounding voice from behind the camera would be none other than David, the producer. Hey. Mr. Producer Man, how's it going?
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I was just reaching for my wine.
Are you ready to celebrate our Retro Rewind episode?
By celebrate, you mean just drink for absolutely no good reason? Then yes, I'm in.
We drink every night. We don't really need a reason.
You don't really have to say every night.
No, you're right. We don't drink every night.
No.
We drink occasionally every night.
Every day that ends with Y. That's not true.
So cheers, y'all. Thanks for joining me here tonight on Bourbon Soak Live. We've got quite the crew hanging out in the chat. I saw our buddy Jerry here. We've got Wes here. Gemma just joined us. Margot Donahue is here. She's from the Books versus Movie. Books versus Movie? What am I saying? Movies versus Books?
Man, I can't believe you don't know the name of her podcast.
I do, but I just
Books
had this
versus movies.
Spectacular strokey moment. I apologize, Margot. Books versus movies. Great podcast, y'all. Charles Ashworth is here. Richie Z just joined us. Mad Kiwi. Wendell Live, of course. We're happy to see you here. Jimmy C and friends. Wheels has been here from the very beginning of the
Number
episode.
one.
First in the chat, so you get double cheers.
Kudos.
Wow, y'all. Patrick Fulmer just joined us. Blended Whiskey is here as well. So thanks so much for being here on a Monday night. This is our Retro Rewind episode. So we're going to be talking about all of our favorite nostalgic things, from sex symbols to toys and all sorts of good stuff. I'm wearing my fancy Flashdance sweatshirt and, of course, my knee socks, which are of the tube sock variety.
Well, and Margot said that I was right, of course, because I know I am. It's book versus movie.
Well, there you go. Book versus movie, y'all. It's a great podcast. She, like the title says, talks about the books versus the movies. And I was on it twice, actually. We talked about a Stephen King book, and we talked about Rosemary's Baby. So you'll definitely want to give it a check out. Like a book out of a library.
Margot's the best. She's cool.
Whew, y'all. So what do you say we talk a little bit about what we're drinking? That's right. I've got myself a glass of Knob Creek. It's not just regular Knob Creek, because the regular everyday Knob Creek isn't necessarily my favorite. Now, Knob Creek comes from the Jim Beam family, and it's one of their specialty releases, kind of like Booker's and Basil Hayden. It's got a very high corn profile with a little bit of rye, and then I want to say malted barley. The single barrel is really, really good, and I've got the Binny's Beverage Depot selection. So what they did is they went in and they handpicked the barrel that they wanted to drink out of, put it in a bottle, and then gave it to me. Not specifically me, but
No, and it didn't come with a straw, so it kind of pissed me off.
it wound up in my greedy little hands. What I love about it is that it is 120 proof. So there's no watered in this whatsoever. It's just really just bold, potent flavor. And spicy, but not overwhelmingly so. So when you drink it, you get that really big, huge vanilla flavor, a little bit of spice to it, super smooth. I dig it.
I loved it. I think it's great stuff. We tapped into it last night just to take a taste.
Right.
And I think I took a little bit more than a taste.
Well, yeah, that 120 proof will definitely kind of
That
kick
kicks
you in
your
the
ass.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are y'all drinking out there? I see that Wes is resting his liver, and I know Charles was also doing the same thing, which I totally appreciate. You know, sometimes you get to that point where you've just had so much booze, you kind of need to reboot the system a little bit.
Hey, and Recycle Dude showed up here.
Recycle Dude is here. Cheers to you, sir. I'm glad to see you. What else do we have?
Virgin Bourbon.
Virgin bourbon.
Is that a thing?
I've never had it. You'll have to let me know how it is.
Wow.
And Blended Whiskey is calling out the fact that we have the initials J and D.
You know, out
Which
of the
were-
12 years we've been together, that never occurred to me.
It's funny the comments that we get. Usually it's more about him being, "Oh, are you her Romeo?"
Yeah.
But
Ugh.
I like the J and D. I think that's fun.
I like JD. I'll take that.
Wendell Live says that regular Knob Creek is usually an entry bourbon. 100% right there. It's not that
Yes.
there's anything wrong with it. In fact, I consider it better than something like, regular Jim Beam or Maker's Mark. Because it's a small batch bourbons, there's a little bit more attention paid to the individual, barrels and the flavor of them. It's not mass produced. So definitely a good one, not one of my favorites, and that's why I like experimenting with these single barrel releases, because you get a little bit of a different flavor profile, not the everyday one, so not bad.
Mad Kiwi says that virgin bourbon is water. No wonder I never had it.
Wow, funny, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
I've only seen that in sinks and toilets.
Gemma is drinking soda. Well done. You know what? Soda is always a good thing. Although, I'll tell you, I have a little bit of a trouble drinking Coca-Cola now. I don't know what it is.
Well, we don't drink soft drinks.
Yeah, I think maybe it's because I haven't
just
had
drink
it
hard
in
drinks.
so long. That's what it is. I'm not used to things that don't have alcohol in them.
That's exactly it.
That must be it. Well, what do you say we talk a little bit about what you're watching, y'all? This is Bourbon Soaked Live. And if you like what you are watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's right. We are here every Monday night at 7 p.m. And I want you to keep hanging out with us because, like I said, this is the best bar that isn't a bar. We hang out, we drink, and we tell stories about, whatever the topic at hand is.
It's a non-bar bar.
It's a non-bar bar.
Yeah, because I can't charge you for drinks, which kind of sucks because I would be rich by now.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. So please make sure you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and tell all your friends. That's right. So there.
I'm just drinking wine tonight. I'm taking it pretty easy.
I know. Why are you so slow rolling it, Mr. Producer?
Well, I have a busy week this week.
You
so,
do. You are very busy.
Yeah, so I have to,
Very busy and important man,
one glass
David
of
the
wine.
producer.
Nah, just one glass of wine. I'm good.
Me, I just write. So,
Yeah.
drinking is conducive to writing. Just ask Hemingway.
Or writing is conducive to drinking. I can't figure
Yeah,
out
it
which
depends
one.
on the day. It really does. So, what do you say we talk a little bit about what hashtag Bourbon Soaked Live is before we get into all of our great conversation? Hashtag Bourbon Soaked Live is our way of getting to know each other in a little bit more of a visual way. Just use that hashtag, take a photo of yourself, and post it to the Twitters. We can see what you're up to, we can see you watching the show, and we can get to know you a little bit better. And I'll tell you, Blended Whiskey is totally the king of the hashtag this week because he has the coolest pictures ever.
Yeah, he's got a big thumbs down for that bourbon.
Yeah, so he was talking about this in his tweet. He says, please don't put mesquite in my bourbon. And I could not agree anymore because adding additional flavors to your bourbon is so unnecessary. No mesquite, don't add honey to it. Don't add apple to it. Just let it be bourbon. Let it be bourbon. Oh, and look at him. He is in the Netherlands there doing the Heineken experience. He's a big beer drinker. And I don't know a whole lot about beer because I've never been a beer gal. But to see him and his girl drinking beer and hanging out, I mean, it makes me want to drink beer. They look like they're having so much fun.
Yeah, I've been to Amsterdam once, and I loved it.
Seriously.
Loved it.
That's a blast. I love it.
It's a great place to go. It's a hard place to leave.
So let me remind y'all, this is hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. If you happen to be in a bar and you happen to be able to get that bar to put Bourbon Soak Live on their bar TV, I will send you everything that's in my prize cabinet. But you got to take a photo of it.
And use the hashtag Bourbon Soak Live.
And use the hashtag Bourbon Soak Live on Twitter. And I got a hell of a prize cabinet, y'all. So you definitely want to make this happen if you can.
Did you see Blended Whiskey's last one?
I did. Oh, and this is sad. He's saying that the guy in the photo asked his girlfriend to sleep with him, which is such a shit move. Who does that?
Yeah. Not
So,
good men.
He wasn't seen again after this photo was taken.
Right.
But, of course, we've got Blended Whiskey with his beer in hand. So cheers to you, sir. And make sure, y'all, that you are posting your photos to Twitter with hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. And that's all I'm going to say about that for now.
And we'll check it later on in the show.
I see that New Orleans Girl has joined us. Hello to you. And I don't know if you happened to catch it in our last episode, but David, the producer, and I are going to be moving to New Orleans in the early summer. I am beyond excited about this, so there's going to be...
We can go hang out with New Orleans Girl.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be there every day.
Be afraid, New Orleans Girl.
There will be no getting rid of us.
Be afraid.
Drone Kings in Darwin has just joined us, so
Hello,
cheers.
hello.
And I see that Charles Ashworth is asking if I have had a Long Branch. And I have, although off the top of my head, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you whether or not I liked it. I'd have to check my notes. But since I don't recall...
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, we had that.
I'm not having any flashbacks to crying over it, so I'm assuming I liked it.
Is that the same whiskey or bourbon? I don't know if it's a whiskey or bourbon that was made by the people that do Rabbit Hole, or am I confusing that?
I think you're confusing that.
Yeah, I might be.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me.
No. There's a lot of things I say that aren't right.
I don't know. Drink your wine.
Thank you.
So, y'all, tonight is our Retro Rewind episode. And that means we're going to be talking about all of the wonderful nostalgic things that we can recall from the past. If you've got anything that, sets your, kind of trips your trigger, go ahead and post it in the chat and we'll be able to talk about it and reminisce. I know I've picked out my top 5 favorites from the 70s and 80s, so I'd love to hear what yours are as well. But I need more bourbon first.
Mine certainly isn't retro porn. Boy, porn has gotten so much better.
Okay, speaking of porn, Dave Attell's My Old Porn, is that what it was called? Dave's Old Porn.
I think it's Dave's Old Porn, or yeah. He used to watch the cassette or the VHS.
Yeah, he had
porn.
a huge collection of VHS and I think reel-to-reel porn. And he had a show where he would show clips of it and then, riff on it, kind of like the Mystery Science Theater porn version. And it was hysterical. I mean, Dave Attell is just hysterical to begin with, but his commentary on just the shitty 70s and 60s porn is brilliant.
I know porn had to start somewhere, and, there was the old ones that you used to have with the ones that didn't need that sound with the old projectors.
Oh, I know, the old stag films.
Right, old stag films. Now, when it hit into the 60s and 70s, more the 70s, boy, that porn was rough to watch. Oof.
Although some of it was actually kind of, I don't know, sweet in a way.
Sweet.
Yeah.
like Deep Throat.
it's just so earnest, and it almost feels a little innocent in a way, because it feels like, oh my gosh, we've never done this before. We're exploring. It just, I don't know, it feels like fun.
But the acting was rough.
Oh, it was so rough. It was terrible.
And they all wanted to have a story, and they all wanted to like be actual actors and actresses. And that was the big problem. Just, it's like a song. Don't bore us, get to the chorus. I just want to see sex and porn.
I appreciate a little bit of a plot to my porn.
Really? Gonna know when.
Okay.
Hold on. And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Y'all, I cannot apologize enough. Thank you for hanging with us. I'd love to be able to blame David, the producer, for this one. Like y'all were saying, he was not backstage whacking off. The porn talk did not do it. It was actually our OBS system. It just took a gigantic crap out of nowhere.
Yeah, it crashed hard. Hard. So that happens to some streams. I've seen it happen before.
So anyway, what we're going to be doing, I believe, next week is upgrading and overhauling the entire back line that you got set up here. Is that the plan?
Yep. And actually have a new Mac that is actually going along with it. So, and this is actually a new one that I'm new-ish that I'm doing it off of, but it's going to be a dedicated one just for OBS.
Yes. So going forward, y'all, we
Life
anticipate not having any more issues. So thank you for sticking with us. And on that note, I'm going to suck down some bourbon. Hang on.
Woohoo! You said no more issues? Come on, please.
A girl can dream.
Yep.
So
we were talking about 70s porn.
We were
and then it
talking about
crashed.
70s porn, and apparently the conversation was so hot we shut down our laptop.
I think that YouTube shut us down for talking about 70s porn.
That's not possible.
No, I know it's not.
Please.
No.
We weren't even being dirty about it.
I know.
Give me time.
But all that hair. Ugh.
Oh, I'm so anti-hair. Ugh. Blah. Yuck. Yeah, I like my porn a little bit more clean cut.
Yeah.
In that respect.
We'll call it the clean landing strip, if you will.
Yes,
right?
yes, precisely. That is my preference. So what do you say we move on to our first retro rewind topic of the night? And for me, this is something that is just, it defines the 70s and early 80s for me. It's something that I loved like you wouldn't even believe. It's pinball. Yeah. I know I have some hardcore gamers who watch this show. For me, I can't handle video games. I can't. There's too much going on. And maybe it's just because I grew up with a pinball machine, but
Boomer.
Man, really?
I gotta give you the boomer.
No, I love pinball, and it's just so much fun. And like just the act of sitting there and like physically manipulating the game. And I mean that in, the most upstanding sense, of course. It's just fun. You feel like you have control over this, and it was exciting and crazy, and your friends could play with you, and it didn't have like a zillion different things going on at once. I think that's what bugs me about video games today, is that I don't even know where to look. There's just so much shit coming at me. It's too much. It's overload.
Yeah, well, I'm a huge pinball fan. You got me on that one. I love it. I love the old school pinball. I love the old Kiss machines.
Oh, the Kiss pinball game.
Yeah, I loved them all.
Oh my God, that was the best.
You can go to the store with literally just a handful of quarters and spend half the day.
You could be there for hours and not get bored and continually just have fun. And you can play it in any condition.
I know I'm rolling back on topic here, but Wes says that he saw Sylvester Stallone's brief porn appearance. I didn't know that was a thing.
I did not know that was a thing either. What movie was that from?
I don't even want
I know he's been in a bunch of wacky, or he had, like, when he was starting off, he was in a bunch of wacky softcore movies.
Would that be First Blood Rushing to Your Penis? Is that the name of it?
Ew. No, he was in a movie called The Massage Parlor, one of those softcore movies from the 60s.
Oh,
Lots of,
Okay.
hints at sexiness, but no overt sexiness. Right. And I see people totally agreeing with me on pinball.
I know someone that wouldn't agree with you, and that's not a great gamer. He's all into the new games.
I know. He loves the new games, although admittedly he says he's not great at them. So.
No, I saw him the other night. I was lurking in his channel, and he had a new map to one of his, shooting games. And, I could never do that good. I suck at those kinds of games.
I suck at them. I don't have the focus for them, I guess. And I see that Mad Kiwi says, bang that button, folks. And that can also be said for the like button on this video.
I think that's what he meant.
No, it's for pinball.
Well, I was thinking about for the like.
Oh, well, I think it's for pinball because you
I'm
have to
very
kind of like, the best scene is in Bad Santa, actually, where the kind of slutty mall chick is at a pinball machine and he's behind her and he's like, banging into her going, you just got to get your body into it. Yes, that's what you have to do.
You guys can put in your retro rewind topics in here too, and we'll talk about them as well.
I see that Wendell Live is calling out the Captain Fantastic machine.
The Elton John one was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty
a good one.
spectacular. That was badass. And Jerry just saw the Kiss pinball machine when he went to have lunch with his cousin. The question is, did you play it? Did you get your hands on it? Because there's nothing like going back to the pinball machine.
Right.
It's just reflex memory. You just all of a sudden you're into it and you know what you're doing.
You got a few more people that have joined us. Alicia Parrish Rock Fam's here.
Oh, nice.
Ian Matthews is here.
Not a Great Gamer is here. And we were just talking about you, sir. We were talking about how terrible we are at video games, but how awesome we are at pinball.
Look at Richie Z. He brought this up. I can't believe that we didn't have this on the list. But going to the drive-in.
Yes, the drive-in. We've talked about the drive-in in the past, but I gotta say that is the best way to see a movie. To just be out there under the stars, watching whatever movie it is. It could be a new movie, it could be an old movie, and just hanging out and having that kind of like intimate experience, but still, being with a lot of other people, and I love it. I love it so much.
Well, the one that we go to, a good friend of ours actually owns it, so... we get kind of the back tour.
We do.
Yeah, so we get to hang in, the projector room and do really cool stuff like that.
Well, and he, what was amazing about it was that he almost had to shut his drive-in down, and it was because he had the old school projector, and all the new movies now are digital.
All digital.
And he entered a contest sponsored by Honda, of all places. They were giving away a single digital projector to a drive-in movie theater, and it was done purely by vote. So the entire community rallied around this guy, and they made it happen for him. So his drive-in got to stay open because everybody loved it so much. And he got his digital projector, and to this day, he's still showing movies. It's the greatest story. I love it.
And Charles says the act of cramming as many people as possible into a car to save money, they still do that.
They do.
They have the carload.
He has carload night, yeah.
Carload night that you could fit as many people as you want into your car.
And pay one price.
So what was it, like $10 or something stupid?
It depends on the time of summer.
Yeah.
But usually it's $10. When he does the fall throwback series, it's $7, I think.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
And Richie Z is saying it's fantastic for a date night too. And
that's right. You can go to the back seat, just kind of pop your head down, and what
you
happened?
can do whatever you want. Nobody's gonna notice.
Yeah, it's a great time. Love that. And you don't have to sit in a movie theater, get your feet stuck to the floor with all the crap on there. Have to listen to people either laugh inappropriately or, bother you during the movie. It's awesome.
The great thing about the drive-in is that you're so spread out that, you can still have kids running around and it isn't quite as offensive as it is when you're in a movie theater.
Right.
I mean, no matter how many upgrades they make to movie theaters these days, with the reclining chairs and, being able to order fancy food and, drinks and all that, I still don't really like movie theaters because it's not the drive-in.
Yep, and Wes is all over it. He's going to email me the link to the Sly Stallone porn.
Well, good. Something to look forward to.
Yo, Adrian.
Some Sylvester Stallone porn.
I don't know if I'm ready for that, but...
That's what the world needs.
Right.
I see Food Lover has just joined us, so cheers to you. Thanks for being here. What do you say we move it on to my next favorite retro topic? Daisy Duke. Yep.
I put Daisy Dukes because that's what it's really all about. It's not about her. It's about the shorts.
No, it's about both. For me, anyway, because Daisy Duke was my first hero. Truly, I was a kid watching Dukes of Hazzard, and I worshipped her. I mean, I had a crush on John Schneider, but I worshipped Daisy Duke. I thought she was a total badass.
Take a look at her in this. I mean, she is just...
She's fucking hot.
Oh, totally hot.
I mean, that's just...
What was her name? Barbara Bach?
I think so.
Recall. Yeah, I think it's Barbara Bach.
But she's just... I mean, look at just the tight little shorts, the teeny top and everything. I mean, I really wanted to be that girl. I did. So I don't wear pants now.
Yeah, well...
It's my pathetic attempt to...
Oh, she's hot. She's just single-handedly hot. And she changed fashion in the 70s.
Oh, she did. Absolutely. I mean, after her, everybody started emulating this look.
Yep.
I mean, look at the hair and everything. She's just so natural looking.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's a hottie. It's Catherine Bach.
Catherine Bach. Thank you, Richie Z.
Yes.
Thank you.
Charles Ash. Everyone had it but me. Who's Barbara Bach? Why do I know that name?
I don't know. Who is Barbara Bach?
It's definitely not Barbara Bush.
No, it certainly is not.
I don't know where I know that name from, but it's inconsequential because I was wrong.
No, but I'd love to know who your sex symbols are. Female, starting with the female ones from the 70s and early 80s. I mean, Catherine Bach was mine, but there were some seriously hot chicks from the 70s, and I think we can all agree that Farrah Fawcett is one of them.
Everyone had her poster, right? I know I did. She was so hot.
She was, but I just wasn't really, and I still am not really into the blonde chick.
Yeah, I know. You're not a blonde girl. But
I mean,
between her and Linda Carter, I really had the hot.
Oh, Linda Carter. Oh, Wonder Woman.
In that little outfit.
Oh my gosh. Linda Carter she was a badass, and she was sexy as all get out.
Oh, Barbara Bach is Ringo's wife. That's right, Richie Z. You're right. She was an actress as well.
Well, there you go. See, it is a person.
Well, and an actress, too. Yes.
Oh, good. You're not entirely crazy.
That's right.
Then.
Richard Starkey's wife.
Richard Starkey. Does anybody actually call him that anymore?
No, I
didn't think so.
Let's hope not.
Oh, and Margaret, Charles Ashworth. Ding, ding,
yeah.
ding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Although, Sophia Loren, personally.
Yeah, she was a hottie, too.
She certainly was.
Let's just take a moment to soak all this in.
Well, what was... The one I know. Oh, Container Man just mentioned her. Suzanne.
Oh, Suzanne Summers. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about her.
I was never a huge Suzanne Summers fan, although I loved Three's Company.
Dumb
how
as a
could you
box
not?
of hair, but she was hot.
Oh, so dumb. Maybe
Doesn't
that's
matter.
it. I mean, maybe it was the fact that she just wasn't able to, I don't know, present herself as eloquently as I would prefer, but
See,
that's
now,
just me.
Container Man, that's, either people are a Marianne or a Ginger fan. I don't think that there's any in between. So I've always been a Ginger fan, but I know that there's a lot of Marianne fans out there.
Very true, very true, although I was a Ginger fan.
Yeah.
Duh.
Raquel Welch. How could you forget that
Oh,
one?
good call.
Yeah, all of the Bond women. Yeah.
Well,
pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah. I mean, they were designed to be total sex symbols. Although, all right, so who was your favorite Bond woman? Can you name one?
Oh, you know what? I can't even name a single one.
No, but I can name my favorite James Bond.
Well, yeah, that's easy.
Roger Moore.
Oh, my God.
And I
can't
will
believe
debate
that.
all of you to the end of the earth. Roger Moore is the best James Bond.
It's Sean Connery.
No, he was.
Absolutely.
You know, Sean Connery was good, but he was trying way too goddamn hard. And he just didn't have the sexiness that James Bond demands.
I don't know.
Come on, somebody back me up on this. Ursula Andress. Andress?
Andres.
I thought it was Andress.
That must be the one of the Bond girls, right?
It is, yes.
Pussy Galore.
Pussy Galore. Which may be the best
That was her
name
character
ever.
name,
I
but
know,
I don't remember
know.
the actress's name, that's for sure.
Charles thinks Sean Connery is the best James Bond. And
Is that Nichelle Nichols? I've never heard of her.
I don't know who that is. Nichelle Nichols. It got to be more specific. I don't know who that is.
Right.
But come
Jill St.
on.
John. Jill St. John. She was pretty hot.
Oh, she was. Absolutely.
I got to give Jill St. John. I totally forgot about her.
Yeah. What one was she from? I can picture her, but I can't.
She was on TV shows for a while. She was on TV for a bit, but I think that was her big acting debut, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Bond girls.
ADHD Whiskey's here. America.
Oh, well, hello, America, to you, sir. We're talking about our favorite Bond girls and Bonds. Although nobody's backing me. Oh, thank you, Mike Meyer. He agrees with me on Roger Moore.
Oh, boy.
Thank you. Although I will say that, who's the current James Bond?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. I like him. He's not quite as sexy as I would like, but I think
He's
he
a
makes
little bit more rugged Bond, but I like the movies.
he
I
makes a
think they're pretty
very good Bond.
good. Yeah, he's not bad.
Unlike
Bronson, though. Ooh, wow.
ooh, or
He was a little rough.
Pierce Brosnan, and then Timothy Dalton was Bond for one movie,
I think
believe,
they
or two.
fired him halfway through.
They may
a
have,
movie.
yeah. I think they just let his character die in the movie because
Yeah,
oof.
he was ungood. Absolutely ungood.
Mad Kiwi agrees with me on Roger Moore.
ADHD Whiskey says Jessica Simpson looked way better in Daisy Dukes.
Not a chance. Not a chance. For starters, she's blonde.
Yeah,
I can't.
You're not a blonde
I can't
girl.
do the blonde. Also, she's an idiot. Can't do idiots.
I'm calling TMZ on this one.
No. We gotta go with the classic Daisy Duke because she is as hot as it gets.
Yeah.
She just is. Unsubscribed? Well, you're dead to me.
Excuse me. That's funny.
And we will not mourn your loss. Kidding, not kidding.
America. What's your next retro?
Speaking of, hold please, I need to pour more.
What are you drinking again?
I am drinking Knob Creek Single Barrel Select, and I'll tell you what I hate about this whiskey
The top.
is the top. They poured it with wax, and perhaps this was just a poorly waxed one, but trying to get the cap off of it was a nightmare. It required teeth
and
knives.
And a pair of scissors, if I recall.
A knife. It was a knife.
Oh, was it a knife?
It was a knife.
Okay.
And Drone Kings in Darwin has acknowledged my quote of the year as, "She's an idiot." Thank you. New Orleans Girl says, I don't agree with Jessica Simpson. She did not like the remake. Thank you, New Orleans Girl. I didn't like the remake either. I love the classic Dukes of Hazzard because it was a little raw, it was a little crazy, and it wasn't overproduced. You know, I think the remake tried way too hard to put the sexy in Jessica Simpson to...
Yeah, but she looked hot in those shorts.
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
care
she
what
didn't
you
look
say.
hot. You know, okay, I'll give you a comparison. So if you've ever seen Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz,
Right.
there's a scene where she does like a school-sponsored car wash and she's wearing the Daisy Dukes, the little tied-up top and everything.
Sure.
Now, she looked fucking hot. And she's blonde. I'll take her over Jessica Simpson any day.
Yeah, Jessica's got better boobs, though. Just saying.
Ooh, Wheels has called up Mila Kunis.
Oh, Mila Kunis is just red hot, smoking.
Yeah.
A bourbon drinker, a brunette,
That's true.
great ass. She's got it all.
Yeah, except she got knocked up by Ashton Kutcher.
Well, you know.
That knocks her down a couple
Is
of
that
pegs.
the ultimate punked?
Oof.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's not a good thing.
I know.
Okay, ADHD whiskey. See, you forgot about Cameron Diaz. Are we friends again now? So moving right along, we've been talking about all of our female sex symbols, and y'all may not have an opinion on this one, but I'll tell you, in my opinion, perhaps one of the coolest and, sexiest guys from the early 80s, Buck Rogers.
Oh my God, really?
Buck fucking Rogers. Also, and y'all are probably going to disagree with me on this also, one of the best sci-fi series.
Wow, man.
And I like
You
Star
must
Trek.
have really had a thing for this guy because this show was so bad.
No, it wasn't. It was perfect for the time. In fact, I own the entire collection of Buck Rogers TV shows, and they're so good. I will watch them over and over again. Oh, look at Buck. Look at Buck.
No, I try not to.
I love Buck. The show was kitschy. It was funny, and some of the coolest people of today actually have cameos on early Buck Rogers episodes. It just had a better spirit to it than Star Trek, which I feel took itself too seriously. And it had better storylines than Battlestar Galactica, which I personally felt was just really kind of, I don't know, all over the place. I just never got into it. And also, sexy women.
You see what Charles said?
Erin Gray was hot. Best costumes ever in Buck Rogers. Like, they made women of the future as sexy as they could possibly be while also being badass. Like, Erin Gray is one of the original space badasses. She takes out Buck all the time. And she never hooked up with him. She's always there kicking ass.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Container Man's all over it with you. He's a big fan of Buck
Oh,
Rogers, too.
good. That makes me happy.
Yeah, I'd really have to be hammered to watch Buck Rogers, any of them.
Oh,
yeah.
come on, Beady Beady Beady.
Yeah, I don't even know what that reference
You
is.
don't know what Beady 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 is?
It's a little robot, I'm
It's
guessing.
Twiggy.
Yeah.
Or Twiggy. Twiggy? Twiggy.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's with a K or a G, but he was so cute. And Elder says Battlestar Galactica narrative was tortured. 100% agree. Absolutely. It was hard to follow. It was hard to get into. Now I know it's been, remade since then and I haven't gotten into it. So I don't know if it's better or not, but just going back in time, Buck Rogers is the man.
Yep. And Elder asks, is the knob polished? That's a different kind of live video.
Well, that's actually what caused our malfunction earlier
Right.
in the
Polishing
show.
knobs. And Elder always said, or also said, how about Sex Trek?
The net
penetration.
penetration. Nice. Very well played there. Mad Kiwi is calling out Logan's Run in Space 1999. Nice.
Good sci-fi movies, right?
Absolutely. Oh, Richie Z is calling out a young Jane Fonda. Vintage sci-fi film, Barbarella.
Yeah. She was really hot in Barbarella. Even though that movie is unwatchable today. We
I
tried to
know,
rewatch
we
it.
did. And even
Boo.
drinking heavily, the movie was hard to get through.
Oh, it was awful.
And she overacts just way too much in that movie. I love Jane Fonda in her early movies, I do, but
Well, she looked hot.
she did look hot. She was great in Barefoot in the Park with Robert Redford.
Yeah, that one is a big swing and a miss for me.
It's a Neil Simon play.
I get it. Some plays shouldn't be made into movies.
I thought I knew you. Wow. Mad Kiwi corrects me and says Twiggy. All right, good to know.
Twiggy.
Good to know.
Twiggy's hot.
Container Man does love Battlestar Galactica 2, all 3 series. Well, more power to you. I just never got into it. I don't know. Just didn't have the sex appeal, I guess. I mean, look at this. Look at these two right there. Aaron Gray and Buck, who has not aged well, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, Buck is looking a little haggard these years.
It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
he will always be my Buck. So what do you say we move it right along to my next retro rewind topic? Probably the best place to go on a date, the 1980s mall. And you have to do it in the decade of the 80s, particularly the early 80s. We're talking like the Fast Times at Ridgemont High Mall, where all the action is. You know, where you've got the pizza place, you've got these crazy, wacky little stores, you've got, Musicland stores.
Chess King.
You've got those, what was the name of that store that
Orange
sold
Julius.
all the meat products? Hickory Farms
Hickory
or
Farms.
something?
I think
Yeah.
they still have some of those around.
Did they really?
I think so.
There's just something cool about the 80s mall. I mean, you would go there and it was like Mecca, you know?
Mike Myers says Spencer's. Yes.
Oh, right. Spencer's had the adult-only section, which we
Back
would
then.
sneak into when we were kids and look at all the weird, like, sex toys that they had back there.
Yep.
No, only they weren't, like, good sex toys. They were like
Well, they were like the kitschy,
party gag.
yeah, party gag kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, and I remember I was with a couple of girlfriends and we wanted to buy one of them, and we were maybe 14, I think, and we'd picked out what we wanted. It had like body oils in it, and like feathers and crap like that. And we bring it up to the counter, and this old woman is at the counter, and she's like, "You girls aren't old enough to buy this." And my girlfriend lost her mind. She was like, "This is," and with only the self-righteous indignity that a 14-year-old girl can get, she starts, stating her rights to buy whatever she wants and calling this woman old and out of touch and saying she's going to bring in the mall police. And this woman finally just said, "Oh, take it. I don't have enough energy to deal with you kids." And then we took it home, and it had these like flavored massage oils. They were so disgusting.
Oh, you just bought it for the sake of wanting to buy it.
Well, we did. Yeah, you're kids.
I just saw while I was watching some of this video that they showed at Kinney's shoe store.
Oh my God, Kinney's shoes. I used to get my school shoes there.
This end up.
I forgot about that store.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stores that don't exist anymore.
Oh no, none of these do. Like Radio Shack, that doesn't exist anymore.
No, Sears is on here. That won't exist for much
Sears
longer.
doesn't have much life in it left either.
I remember Sears at the mall sold
Records and tapes. Really?
Well, they used to sell everything. Paint.
Yeah, I remember they sold paint, lawnmowers.
Lawnmowers. They were kind of an all-in-one store.
Yeah, that's
back in the
probably
day.
why they suck now.
Yeah. And there you go.
Orange Julius, like we mentioned earlier. What a perfect place to go on a date. I must have gone on 40 different dates to Orange Julius. What I can't believe still exists is Sbarro Pizza.
Right. How about Shoney's?
Shoney's.
And Farrell's.
KB Toys. I don't think that
KB
exists
Toys?
anymore.
No, that doesn't exist. No.
What was the bookstore? Walden Books.
Walden. That was one. There was a whole bunch of music stores.
Musicland. Rose Records was local to
Records.
us, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Sam
yeah.
Goody. Does that still
Rolling
exist?
Stone was local to us.
Rolling
too.
Stone was local to us.
Sam Goody was national.
I don't remember the other ones.
Ah,
Musicland was the big one.
I think so.
That was the place to go to, they had, I don't know if y'all remember Kiss Singles.
Singles?
Yeah.
Are they cassette singles?
They were cassette singles.
Oh, okay.
It was 2 songs on a cassette tape for like $8 or something ridiculous like that. But it was great because you could get the one song you wanted if you didn't want the entire album.
Yeah. Richie Z says the big CD at Zabaros was so good.
Oh, and Bayou Dram says Shoney's Breakfast Bar was the place for 2 a.m. food.
Shoney's, yeah, that was
Yeah.
pre-Denny's,
Yeah,
right?
that was pre-Denny's.
Yeah, Shoney's and Howard Johnson's. You used to go to the Hojos.
The Hojos, yeah. We had one right off the highway that we would go to after concerts.
Yeah, there's Donner Pass Whiskey in the house.
Hey, Donner Pass Whiskey. Great to see you here. We're talking about our favorite retro topics tonight, and right now we are waxing poetic about the malls of the 80s and how much fun they were. And I see that there's a little train in there. Actually, I know somebody, David the producer, who once hijacked a train in a mall.
I did. I took the train.
Yeah, and that did not end well for us.
No, they didn't kick me out, but they certainly gave me a stern talking to.
It's hard to take somebody seriously when they're like, and don't you get on this train again.
Don't you steal this children's train ever again. Okay.
Bayou Drum says, my favorite single was Tom Petty, and the B-side was Girl on LSD.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
And what was Elder Little House of Horrors?
Little House of Horrors is...
That was, what was that?
I don't know what Little House of Horrors is, but I'm very intrigued. Do you need to tell us more, sir?
Yeah. Didn't know if that was, didn't know that was Aladdin's
Aladdin's
Castle.
Castle Arcade.
That's where all the kids hung out.
We had one of those, and that was like the spot to pick up long-haired guys. You know, I was way too young to be looking for long-haired guys, but we would go and we would put on our leggings and what we would do is we'd wear leggings with scrunch socks on the outside and Keds and then a stupid sweatshirt like I'm wearing right now. And we would go hunting for long-haired guys and then make out behind the store or behind the arcade.
My God, everyone gathering around the Street Fighter game
Trying
to
to
beat the cool kid. That's so true. And what Elder says, Blockbuster too, of course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's how
Everyone lived there.
Well, we had the mom and pop video store where I was. Right. And that was the best because they had this huge collection of horror movies. And back then, horror movies had these great, VHS covers. I know horror fans know what I'm talking about, where you'd see the artwork for the movie that was far better than the movie itself. But you would see that and go, oh my God, I need to watch this. And I must have spent, I don't know, months upon months, just hours of my life watching these horrible movies that I would rent from, this old weathered guy who owned the place. He'd sit there chain smoking at the counter. I'd be like 10 going, here, I want to watch Faces of Death. And he'd be like, all right, kid, have fun.
They didn't care.
They didn't care.
Oh, Matt Kiwi's got to take off for a doctor's appointment. Great to see you, Matt Kiwi. Thanks for hanging out.
Well, thanks for being here tonight. Cheers to you. Good luck at the doctor.
I used to hang out at the Woolworths and try to pick up grandmothers.
Woolworths.
No, that's not true.
No. Richie Z says, let's not forget the warehouse and record factory for record stores.
Oh, Record Factory. I forgot that place existed. That's right. And what Charles says, rental VCRs. Remember when we used to rent them?
Oh, my God. We did that once.
Yeah.
I remember we'd been debating on whether or not we wanted to buy a VCR, so my dad rented one. He wanted to experiment with it because prior to that, we actually had a Laserdisc player. My dad always liked to be on the cutting edge of technology, and we had this Laserdisc player. I mean, it was, think of a regular CD and then make it like this big. It was two-sided, so halfway through the movie, you had to flip it over to play the other side of it. It was a record, only in kind of a semi-digital format. They were incredibly inconvenient and huge, and they were prone to something that we called laser rot. The disc would eventually start to deteriorate, and you couldn't watch the movie anymore. It was terrible.
Yay. Boy, that sounds like a great investment.
Yeah, right? Well, my parents had like 7,000 of these in their home they had to get rid of.
Well, my family decided that during the whole time of, are you going to go VHS or are you going to go beta? Well, my family thought, oh, well, beta is so much more superior. Let's invest thousands in beta, because those machines, when they first came out, were extremely expensive.
Oh, they were. They were luxury items.
Right. And they had to buy the movies in beta, the whole thing, which back then they were $100 per movie.
Oh, yeah.
So we spent all kinds of money on it, and then, it didn't win out as a format.
I don't understand why the format never took out. I mean, it was
it was superior
format.
I think it was because there were more manufacturers behind the VHS.
Yeah.
That was basically it.
I saw, what did I see? It cracked me up. Oh, Bayou Ram says, how many guys remember sneaking past the curtain and into the naughty room at the video store?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I went past that curtain so many times.
Yeah. I actually, and this was in the 90s, but I worked in an adult store when I lived in Los Angeles, and we had one of those back rooms. And it was under video surveillance all the time. And I can't even begin to tell you the things that I saw in that room. I mean, it was so gross. So gross. And then these guys would come out, and the way it worked is that there was this little coin that you had to bring back to me so that I could get the actual video cassette to give to the guy. Mm-hmm. Because we didn't keep those back there because they would have been stolen. And every time, I would never actually let him put the chip in my hand because they were always sticky.
Right.
So gross.
Yeah.
So gross.
That's ungood. My parents bought me a Sony Betamax before a VHS player. Yes, I think a lot of us made those unfortunate purchases back in the day.
I see that Scary Peeper has joined us and says, I feel like I stumbled into 1984. Well, that's because we are having our Retro Rewind episode tonight. If this is your first time watching Bourbon Soak Live, we have a different topic every week. And this week just happens to be our crazy nostalgic memories. So, I don't know. I got to say, the whole video store phenomenon was great in the 80s because you could watch whatever you wanted. And I see everybody's talking about stuff like all the crazy movies they were able to watch.
Bayou Drums also says Sam Goody's. Yes.
Sam Goody. That's what I was trying to think of.
Sam
I
Goody's.
forgot about Sam Goody.
Yep.
Mm.
What are you seeing there?
I see that Wes is calling out Atari. Now, I know earlier I said that I don't like video games. I like two things. I like the original Atari video games, and I love the old school computer games from and this is going to date myself, the Radio Shack TRS-80 computer.
Wow,
Yeah.
You are a boomer.
I don't know if y'all are familiar with this legendary, wonderful hunk of electronics, but it was one of the first personal computers that was available on the market. Radio Shack sold it, and this thing was huge. And you could get it had this cassette player. And we used to get these cassettes where I'd play these text-based adventure games that I loved. Oh, I loved these games. It was literally answer and response. So it would show you a line of text. You're standing in a room, there's a lever on the wall. And then your next line had to be, pull the lever, or whatever you wanted to say. And it would just lead you through this whole game. It was so cool.
Do you remember any of the names of the games?
Yeah, there was one called Bedlam that I loved. There was also a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy one. And there was Asylum. Or no, shoot. I don't remember.
My first video game was Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, that's one of the Sierra
Gold
games.
Rush. Actually, Gold Rush was my first one.
Gold Rush.
Yeah, that's a really early game. We're seeing Zork.
Zork,
right,
oh my gosh, yes. I loved all the early graphic games like King's Quest, Leisure Suit Larry, Space Quest. I loved playing those because it was a little bit more knowledge-based than action-based.
And Biodrum says Tandy from Radio Shack.
That's the one.
That was, I had the TI-99, the Texas Instrument 99, which was run off a cassette deck onto a TV. That's my first computer.
Badass right there.
Not really. At all.
I'm seeing, let's see, Below the Root and Gold Rush games, I think. I don't recall
I remember
either
Gold
of
Rush.
those.
I mean, I played Gold Rush, so that was awesome. And Container Man, Pong,
Pong.
one of the first console games that I played.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very cool. Pong, even though it was the most ridiculous game and it was so monotonous.
But you felt so high tech playing it.
At the time,
Like I remember it was such a big deal to go over to somebody's house where they had this.
what I would do with my Pong is that when my mother wasn't around, I'd unplug the Pong, put in my on TV in there,
On TV.
and then try to watch scrambled porn.
Mike Myers says he played a lot of King's Quest.
Yeah, that
and
was
he could
big.
never spell the name of the Rumpelstiltskin dude. That was the problem with those games. If you didn't spell something exactly correctly, you'd be dead in a heartbeat.
Yep.
So you better learn how to spell pretty damn quick.
Oregon Trail. Big
Oregon
one.
Trail, yes.
Big one.
I died of dysentery. I don't know how many times.
Ready to go to your
Let's
other
move
topic?
on to my next retro rewind topic, and this is a good one. Thinking about my favorite junk food and snacks of the 80s, I would have to give that nod not to McDonald's, but to McDonald's French fries. 80s style McDonald's French fries were the greatest food ever.
Yeah, they
Oh.
changed it.
Oh, when they cooked it in animal fat and it had all the good trans fats in it, and they loaded them up with salt, they were so crispy and just heavenly. Today, they're crap. I'm sorry.
They
They're
wrecked
crap.
them.
They wrecked them.
Wrecked them, nearly killed them.
Before we dive into all that, I see that we have Richie Z, Scary Peeper discussing Pikesville Rye. Yes, excellent stuff right there. I haven't had it in quite some time, but it stood out to me as being just fantastic. So if you are drinking that, cheers to you, because that is a tasty pour right there.
Yeah, but McDonald's fries, no other fast food place could come close to it. I mean, well, there weren't a ton of fast food places early back in the 80s when you really look at it. Not like today,
No.
right? Was Wendy's
Well,
around in the early
Wendy's,
80s?
yeah, it was actually,
Okay.
but it wasn't as widespread, I
And
think.
I know White Castles were here in the Chicagoland area, and their fries were nowhere close to theirs.
White Castle is foul.
Oh, no. It runs
Foul.
through you like a pit bull. It's
Foul.
awesome.
White Castle is just revolting. I don't know if it's a national thing, but here in the Midwest, it's ridiculously awful. I think for me, the whole thrill was going to McDonald's with a group of friends. You know, we'd be there, on our own, because in the 80s you were allowed to be 12 years old and walking around town after dark, and we'd all congregate at McDonald's. Oh, somebody's stealing my bourbon right now.
I am.
I see Bio Drums is saying, anyone remember the McDLT? Yes, the hot stuff on one side and the cold stuff on the other. Was that the McDLT or was that the Arch Deluxe?
No, that was the McDLT.
Was that the McDLT?
Yeah, cold on one side, hot on the other.
I loved that thing because it enabled me to pick off the onions. I don't like onions. Scary Paper, thank you. This is the best topic ever. Love the 80s nostalgia mixed with bourbons. Even better. Thank you. Cheers to you.
And cheers to you. Thank you for letting me snag a little of your Knob Creek there.
Well, you're gonna have to
The
wrestle.
single barrel.
You're gonna have to wrestle it away from me now. I'm just gonna
Now,
hold
which
this here.
one do you have?
We're talking about what I am drinking is the Single Barrel Select, the Binny's Beverage Depot pick from Knob Creek. And under normal circumstances, I'm not a huge Knob Creek fan. However, when it comes to these specialty releases, I like that it really gives you a better profile of the flavors. So this one is really robust. It's 120 proof, but it's got a great vanilla flavor to it with a little bit of that kind of like a mossy flavor almost. It's not like scotch.
Not like a peaty.
No.
No,
Almost grassy in a way.
Okay. Fair enough. And right here we have Container Man saying, so no White Castle. What about A&W?
A&W, yeah.
They had the best root beer when you get it fresh at the
they
drive-thrus.
made it fresh.
Right, at the drive-thrus, which was incredible.
Yes.
You can't get that anymore. Shakey's Pizza.
Shakey's Pizza. I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, I know that. That place rocked back in the day.
I don't think I
And
ever had it.
Buncho Lunch. That one I never heard of.
No, I'm not familiar with that one either.
And by the way, Jenny Marseth has joined us.
Oh, Jenny's here. Yay. Hi, Jenny. How's it going?
Wheels wants to know what the age is on the bourbon.
Oh, it doesn't have an age statement, although it's rumored to be about 9 years. I also don't know the specific mash bill. That also is not clear, but it's similar to Jim Beam because Knob comes from the Jim Beam family, so we know it's a very high corn. And I think the next highest grain is rye, just judging on the flavor of this. So it's good. It's not as good as Booker's, which also comes from the Beam family, but it's a very nice mid-priced, like $40 bottle.
Oh, Wes has a good question.
What's that?
Is there any vodka made from rye? I don't think so.
No, because then it wouldn't be vodka.
Right. Because what are the rules of vodka again?
Well, I think anything can be a vodka, but it's mostly made...
Then why can't rye?
Well, it needs to be clear, I think, and I think rye would color it.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot
We're
about
not
vodka.
real vodka
Yeah.
people, so, don't really know much about that.
Thank you, Scary Peeper, McDonald's in the 80s. Those fries were the best. In fact, I haven't had good French fries since the 80s, except when we went to Aruba and we asked them, because we were hammered, and we were at our hotel, and I said, I need cheese fries now or I'm going to die. So we had them make us up a plate of cheese fries, and they were the greatest fries I'd had in so long. I mean, we're talking just crispy exterior that, just kind of juicy interior, potato flavor. And we asked how they made them, and we asked what kind of oil they cooked them in. And we were expecting to hear, stupid today technology. Oh, it's in monounsaturated fat soybean oil. It was cooked in bacon fat.
Yes. Perfect.
Good stuff.
Now, Biodrams says that they used to have Mr. Gotti's Pizza. I think that must be a regional thing.
I think that's a regional thing.
And then Bashful of the Round Table says Showbiz Pizza.
I had a birthday party at Showbiz Pizza, and although the pizza was terrible, the atmosphere was fantastic because it was like poor man's Disney World, essentially. You had the stupid animatronic figures, that sang happy birthday to you.
The big monkey.
Was there a big monkey?
Oh, at Showbiz?
I
Yeah,
remember a
they
big
had the
bear.
big. Well, it was like a gorilla. It's not really a monkey.
Okay, it was a gorilla.
A big
Okay.
gorilla.
Yeah.
Used to,
Yeah.
I think, have some musical instrument of some kind.
And they would let you run around and
Right.
drink all sorts of caffeine and play video games and skee ball.
Exactly.
Skee ball's a good game. Patrick Fulmer says McDonald's fries were fried in beef fat. That's
The
how you make a
best.
French fry right there.
That's right.
I don't care how unhealthy it is.
Give me my beef fat fries
Give me
back.
my beef fat fries.
And the Sneaky Pete's hot dogs. I never heard of those.
Every
know
time
them?
that's as if I understand you correctly, are you referring to Sneaky Pete's in LA? You could be.
Is that an LA thing?
It was.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
scroll down? I can't see all of the
Sure,
comments.
but Bunch of Lunch was the actual lunch buffet at Shakey's, Mike says. So that I did not remember.
I did not know that.
Wait, and we're here. Gotti's was great.
Go on, keep on rolling.
I'm rolling. There you go.
Was there a McPizza? Actually, yes, Wes, there was a McPizza for a very
short
time.
period of time, they had McPizza, and it was McAss.
It was ass. They also had cheese fries for a very short time.
Ooh, I don't remember that.
They did. You could get a little carton of cheese.
The one here in Oak Brook, because
Well,
we live
McDonald's
here in
is
Chicago,
headquartered.
right? McDonald's is headquartered in Oak Brook, Illinois, and right across the street they have a test McDonald's there, and that was the first one to get beer and wine.
Right.
I remember, and it was the first one to have a McCafe, and so we every so often would be able to get to try stuff like that back in the day, but now they don't do that.
I got to be one of the first people to taste test a McNuggets.
Really?
Yeah, because my uncle worked for McDonald's.
Did not know that.
And they were having a special tasting for family and friends. And they invited us all out, and I got one of the very first McNuggets ever made. It was.
Did you tell them to stop immediately thereafter?
For a kid, it was. Well, I don't remember how old I was. Probably like 10, maybe. I don't know. It was heavenly. I had never had anything quite like that before because uh, they weren't a thing. I didn't know about chicken tenders. I didn't know chicken tenders were a thing. And then to have this little deep fried nugget of chicken, oh, God, it rocked my little world.
Well, and they were referencing Jolt Cola.
Jolt Cola, oh
That's
my God.
totally Edie's thing.
Whew, I can't tell you how many quarts of that I drank. Wow, that and at slumber parties we would mix Jolt Cola and Pop Rocks together. And if you want something that's going to rot your teeth, it'll be that combo right there.
Yeah, I'd say that. Sandy A7 has joined us in the chat.
Oh, well, hello, Sandy A7. I also see that The Shape has joined us as well. So
Yeah, Shape is here as well.
we are talking our favorite nostalgic things, and right now we're on the fast food portion of the night.
Mick Shape is in the house, he said. Yeah, Bayou Drums. Yeah, Prototype McNuggets does sound really sketchy.
I'm still here. I survived.
Oh, and then you have Container Man throwing in the RC Cola.
RC Cola and Tab, 2 non-colas as far as I'm concerned. Although, if we're going to talk about colas, the original Green River.
Oh, God, that goes back.
Oh, green soda, y'all. Amazing stuff. Or we used to get this generic brand of grape soda. It wasn't Crush. Crush didn't have grape soda back then. But there was this like supermarket brand of grape soda that was incredible.
Yep. And he says they have the cheese fries, Wheel says.
Not out here.
Yeah, they don't have them here in Chicago.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
Not that we go to McDonald's anymore. I mean, it's just not that
Yeah,
good.
we kind of stopped going there.
Yeah, not even when we road trip. When we road trip, we go
No.
to Arby's now.
Right.
Because Arby's is good.
Fresca as an alternative to Sprite.
Oh, yes. That and Fanta.
And Fanta and Container Man says Shasta.
Shasta. I remember that. I never drank it, but I remember seeing it.
Sandy A7 says still drink Green River every year.
Thank you.
I didn't
Isn't
even
it
know you
good?
could still get it.
You can, yeah. And in fact, I think it's made in Chicago.
No way.
It might be made in Chicago or it's made somewhere in the Midwest, but it is local.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I did not even know that.
So I don't know about y'all, but I'm wearing my 80s clothing tonight. My Flashdance.
Yeah, you got a
sweatshirt
Flashdance look going
with
there.
the bedazzled jewels on it.
Your long socks,
Yeah, tube socks.
right?
Curly fries or potato cakes? Mike Meyer, that's a tough call. Ooh, I think I got to go curly fries. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Arby's has really great potato cakes, and I love them, but when you're talking about the enjoyment of eating, you can polish off a potato cake in like 4 bites, but the curly fries will last you. So I'm going curly fry.
Yep.
Oh, do we have more?
We have some Bourbon Soaked Live.
We have a couple of Bourbon Soak Live photos to show with y'all tonight.
We do. You ready for them?
Show them.
Now you have to understand Jerry's kind of sense of humor, which I think everyone either will get or not get.
Yes, Jerry is our friend from the Bad Cop podcast, and he is a little, he's an acquired taste, I think.
Let's see. Do I have it
What
here?
do we got from Jerry?
There we go. Well, first, we got another one from Blended Whiskey.
Oh,
with
show
him
me
and his
Blended
girl.
Whiskey. He's always got the best photos.
Okay, hold on. That's him and his girl. Kind of like the French Quarter in... Oh, wow. Yeah, just a little
Whoa,
bit.
yeah, just a little like the French Quarter.
That's nothing like the French Quarter. That's
I
Paris,
am-
and I wish I was there.
I'm so jelly. I'm so
know.
jelly. I mean, just beautiful shot right there, Blended Whiskey. You are my hero.
Very cool. And then we have one here from... That's just an ad. From Gemma.
Gemma.
Gemma, right here. Hold on. Right there. Enjoying the show.
Oh, thank you, Gemma. I'm so glad you were able to share your photo with us.
There we are.
Very nice. I know you're up late tonight. I believe we're kind of a late night show where you're at. So
Well, yeah,
thank
she's
you.
in the UK.
She's in the UK.
Absolutely.
I see people debating jean jackets, and let me tell you this much. I still have my jean jacket from the 80s because it is covered in pins. All right, what did Jerry post?
You can read it yourself.
The new
Kobe
Bourbon.
Extra Char Barrel. Leave it to Jerry to be the first one. You know, there's no such thing as too soon for Jerry.
Oh, I love the poor taste of Jerry.
No.
It's got this nice smoky flavor to it. So Thank you all for sharing your photos. Don't forget to post them to the Twitters using hashtag Bourbon Soaked Live. And if you have any retro photos of yourself, wearing your members only jacket, perhaps, I would love to see them. So be sure to post them tonight. Let's see. We've got close-up toothpaste from Richie Z.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that's a deep dive right there. My mother would never buy it because she felt like it was somehow encouraging me to do tawdry things with my dates.
What's Tahitian treat? What's
Tahitian
that?
treat? I do not know. You're going to have to explain that one to me, Scary Peeper. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Acid wash jeans. Yeah, I used to have the Cavaricis.
Acid wash jeans are actually back in fashion now.
Yeah,
You'd be
you told me
surprised.
that.
Yeah, they're kind of reinvented with new cuts, but still the same acid wash. And you wouldn't believe this, but mom jeans are actually becoming a thing. They fit better than mom jeans did, but it's got the high waist. It's got a little bit of a curvier cut to them.
They're more 70s, though, right? They're more retro?
No, they're made
No,
to
they
look like
look
they're
like
from the
mom
80s.
jeans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Only when they're being worn by, an adorable little girl who's like 22, they look far better.
No, that could
Prel
be the case.
shampoo. Oh, Sandy A7. No. No. Oh, Prel and Pert.
Pert and Pearl.
I remember having a hairstylist in the 80s who told me to avoid the 3 Ps when it came to maintaining my hair. Don't use Prel, don't use Pert, don't use Pantene.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like, those will destroy your hair. Do not use them. So I didn't.
Boy, so your hair salon was a little bit uppity.
Well, it was a little uppity, but I'll tell you, hair is my thing, and it always has been. So.
Yeah. Oh, and Bayou Drum says parachute pants. Of course, parachute pants. How could you forget about those?
Oh my gosh, I used to want a pair of those. My mother would never buy them for me.
I know. Look at all the stuff that has just totally gone away. Like one of them, I love this New Orleans girl, 80s Polaroid cameras, even though they are making a comeback.
They are, like records.
Yeah. Like vinyl, they are making a comeback,
I know.
which I think is weird.
Why do you think that's weird? I mean, everything old is new at some point.
I know, but people just don't keep physical photos anymore. Everything's digital. It's, what do you do with an analog photo?
I think it's meant to be more crafty. I mean, scrapbooking is still a big thing. And having that sort of retro feel to it is,
Right.
kind of desirable.
Patrick Fulmer says Brute 33
Ooh.
or High Karate.
High Karate.
Or
Ugh.
old, was it English Leather?
Old Spice.
Old Spice as well.
Old Spice.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
All ungood. Or
Aquanet.
What was it? Dracor Noir?
Dracar Noir. That was very
Drakkar
80s.
Noir. Yeah, that was...
Every single shitty boy that I ever went out with when I was a preteen wore Dracar Noir.
Yep.
Ugh.
Wes says Sassoon. I forgot about that.
La La Sassoon.
That's right.
Yeah. Or Brooke Shields, and nothing gets between her and her Calvins.
Calvin Klein
Calvin
jeans.
Klein, yeah.
Well, Jordache were the other ones.
Jordache, absolutely. I used to wear a lot of Jordache jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
were
know
my
any.
thing. Jordache and then Guess jeans.
I had Guess.
I've seen your photos. You were a Z Cavarici man.
For a bit. That and my mullet.
You did have a mullet, didn't you?
For a short period of time.
That's okay.
I look like Richard Mark's really untalented brother.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was not pretty.
I used to crimp my hair. I look like Yahoo Serious. I crimped the hell out of my hair.
You were worried about what shampoo you put in your hair, and you put a hot steamer that made your hair look like Z's.
Because
that's
the
ridiculous.
conditioner and the shampoo treated the damage that I did to my hair
You
using
did
a
lot of
crimping
damage.
iron.
And you used to use sun in it, if I
I
remember.
used sun in all the time. My hair turned this fabulous shade of orange. It was spectacular.
Wes says, Juliette, are you Siri because you autocomplete me? See?
I get it.
That's a pickup line.
Bashful the Round Table says chic. Oh, chic jeans actually are still a thing. In fact, I believe Sears still sells them. Yeah. And I only know
Get
this
out.
because my mother went to Sears not too long ago and she was like, oh, they had chic jeans. And I remember the fit that I used to love. And I'm like, oh, no, Mom. No. No, Mom.
Bayou Dress says I had a full-on mullet and pedo stash
Ooh.
in our Sears family portrait. Boy, you hit the triple header right there, man.
Sweet. I see a reference to Wranglers also.
Oh, I had Wranglers. And when I was a little kid at the late 70s, I used to have the Granimals.
Granimals,
Yes.
where you match the animal to the animal and the
Yes.
color to the color.
Yeah, you could be full-blown retard and still dress
still
yourself
look-
in the morning.
Yeah. For me, I think my big style moment was when a spree became a thing.
Oh, yeah. See, they didn't... I think Cavalry was the first stylish thing that I bought myself. Because I used to wear... pretty utilitarian before then.
Well, you're a man.
Right.
Yeah, the 80s were like a big pop for me with fashion. Although, what actually kind of turned me around, so I used to wear all this, I would like layer myself in makeup and crimp my hair and wear a spree. And then finding an uncle's stash of Playboy magazines kind of changed it all for me.
Yeah, that changed my life.
It changed my life in a lot of ways.
Now they're on to Big League Chew, Garage Pail Kids.
Garbage
all that
Pail
stuff.
Kids.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I collected those for a little while and then I passed them on to my sister.
What were the Hot Rod ones? Do you remember the ones that used to
Rod
come in the
ones?
packs? Yeah, the Wacky Packies.
Wacky
Remember the
Packies.
Yeah. Wacky Packies.
I remember those.
Is it Wacky Packs or Wacky Packies? I can't remember.
Wacky Packs, I think. Bayou says full box of Garbage Pail Kids worth quite a bit of money now. I actually, when we start digging through our garage, when we pack up all of our shit to move to New Orleans, I have the entire second series in a box.
Of
Garbage Pail Kids.
Garbage Pail Kids?
Yeah.
You
Like-
saved that?
Well, I gave a bunch of, I gave my entire first series to my sister, which I should never have done. But I hung on to the second series for, I don't know what reasons, but I did. And they're in our garage.
Huh. Scary Peeper says, what about the kangaroo Velcro shoes or the Converse shoes with the color cards? You used to change out the color of the stars.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Customizing your shoes. That was such a big deal.
That was the thing.
Yes.
Well,
Or-
and what became the thing was shoelaces in the 80s.
oh my gosh, neon shoelaces.
Right.
That was my thing. Or, what were they? LA Gear.
LA Gear.
LA Gear was a thing too. So y'all, I don't know about you, but I have had such a blast talking about the 80s with you and the 70s and talking about all this great retro nostalgia stuff. Remember, you were watching Bourbon Soak Live. Every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, we go live and we talk about a given topic and we hang out and some of us drink as though we're in a bar. Truly, this is the best bar without being a bar. That's my opinion.
We really need to change cover.
But make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you remember when we go live because I want you here with me. I mean, we've had such a great conversation tonight. I hope you all agree because you have had some of the best suggestions and you've reminded me of so many amazing things from past decades. So thank you for being here. And if you have enjoyed this Bourbon Soak Live, you might want to know that I have a podcast. It is called The Unwritable Rant. And it lives where all good podcasts live. iTunes, Android, any podcatcher that you can find. And don't forget, I also have a website, theunwritablerant.com. And from there, you can buy swag. We have t-shirts. The Cheers Y'all shirts are my favorite. Mugs, hats, different designs, all sorts of good stuff. So you might want to check that out and, deck yourself out in gear.
I have enough of those Bourbon Soak Live cups to, choke an army.
And what you could do is actually get one of the t-shirts, and I see that Bayou Drams is calling out glamour shots. I want to see you wearing one of my shirts doing a glamour shot. And if you do that, I'll send you everything in my prize closet.
You know what? All we want to see on hashtag Bourbon Soak Live on Twitter is create your own version of a glamour shot.
Yes, hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. Give me your best glamour shot. That's what I want. That's what we need to have.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be awesome, y'all? I think you need to do this. Do this for me. Come on. Please. Please. Anyway, there's a new episode of the podcast out right now. It's my interview with Kip Winger. And what you want to do, y'all, is be here next Monday night. And you know why?
Why's that?
It's my birthday.
Oh, how could I forget? forget.
That's right. How could you forget? You're supposed to remember this shit.
Well, the reality is your birthday is on Thursday. That's why.
Well, it is my birthday spectacular
Actually,
episode.
it's Friday. Sorry, Friday.
Shushy. Next Monday is my birthday spectacular episode, and I want you all here.
Well, you don't celebrate a birthday afterwards, so next Monday after that would be silly.
It will be kicking off the week of my birthday festivities.
That's right.
So please join me next Monday at 7 p.m. So that, we can hang out and celebrate properly. And with any luck, there's going to be like brownies or something, David, the producer.
Oh, I have a special plan for next Monday.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hope there are brownies, and there's definitely going to be bourbon, I can tell you that
Oh, no
much.
doubt.
So let me thank all of the people who've been in the chat that I've been hanging out with. Some new friends, some old friends. Of course, Jerry has been here. Wes, Container Man, always love seeing you here,
Jenny,
sir.
Richie, New Orleans Girl, Charles, Ashworth, Bayou Drums,
Blended
of course.
Whiskey.
Bashful, our good friend Bashful.
Drone Kings,
Charles.
Viewed This.
Yep. Wheels.
Patrick Fulmer.
Yeah, we got a lot of really cool people.
Well, all of you, thank you so much for being here. I love hanging out with you and chatting with y'all. Look at you. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you have had fun, and I hope I will see you next Monday night for Bourbon Soak Live. Until then, cheers, y'all.